What's up, everybody? Dan Sports News here, bringing you the 7th episode of the Dan Sports News and Friends podcast. You can follow me on Twitter and Facebook at Dan Sports News and Instagram at I am Dan Sports News to catch all my latest articles and news in sports. Today's guest is Horace Jenkins, who is a former NBA player who played overseas and with the Detroit Pistons. He talks a little bit about his basketball career, playing with the Pistons, going to the NBA Finals, the Malice at the Palace, and so much more. Check it out. I think we should start in high school for you. I know you went to Elizabeth High School. What happened freshman year to senior year? What happened at Elizabeth High School?
Well, I played my freshman year. I played my sophomore and junior year. Didn't play as much my junior year because I was playing behind all-state guard that we had or whatever. So it was kind of like wait your turn, wait my turn, and just continue to work always, everything like this. Every day I just worked on my game to try to perfect my craft. And, I think, frustration did set in a little bit because I would have I thought I should have played. I would have liked to have played more, but it just wasn't in the cards at that time. And unfortunately, I was ineligible my senior year. I was in summer school, and you were not allowed to support it. Too late. So the 2.5 credit that I needed for summer school, I wasn't able to make that class up or whatever. So, I take full responsibility for that. Just, not really applying myself the way that I should and I could have or whatever. But it was almost like a gift and a curse because for my senior year to be taken away from me because of, my inability to stay focused on the task at hand, really zero down on things that were important, which I understand education was. It cost my senior year. And to have it taken away was devastating because when you love something as much as I love the game of basketball and not be able to play it, it really puts you in that perspective. It humbles you a lot. You start looking at things from a whole different perspective. The things that I took for granted that I took for granted was taken away. I'm not going to say I took it for granted. I just didn't, understand the importance of it at that time. But I think that experience alone was the best teacher for me. So it was tough. It was a very tough experience. But in retrospect, I think it helped groom me into the person that I've become today.
Right. So after Elizabeth High School, you went to Union County Community College. What happened there with basketball?
Well, I went to Union County College, and when the opportunity was there for me to play, I was playing really, really well. I was averaging about 20 points. The team was doing well, and the second semester of my freshman year at Union County, my oldest son, Hakeem, was born. And once he was born, it was kind of just like responsibility to the fifth hour, because I was trying to channel being a full-time student, playing basketball, and working to take care of my son, and being a full-time father. And I was overwhelmed. And I won't put up here and sugarcoat it and put it all the way, but I was truly overwhelmed. So I went back to the following semester, my sophomore year, but it was just too much. And I wound up withdrawing from school because I thought it was best for me to just focus on the responsibility of being a father at that time. I just didn't want to put that responsibility or burden on anyone else. So, I actually left school. I left school for 3 years. 3.5 years. I was working, taking care of my son. I was snacking. I was saving money, and beginning of September, a lot of friends of mine going back to school, and I had the responsibility of being a father, so I knew that I would eventually get back into school, but the process, took a lot longer than what I would have liked. But I grew. I had grown so much as a person that I became a lot more mature. I became a lot more responsible. I became a lot more understanding of everything that was going on around me and the importance of, the things that were taken away from me. Not being able to play my senior year, having a chance to play and do really well when I went to Union County, and then having my son born, and me having to make a adult decision to just focus on raising him and trying to be there for him as much as I can. And I don't have any regrets for it. I mean, it may be intriguing to a lot of people, but I think that was my life story. So I don't expect any kudos or pats on the back or whatever. But, when I speak about the story, sometimes I look back, it does give me a greater appreciation, because my route was like the alternate route. I didn't take the traditional route to be able to fulfill a lifelong dream of mine. But, like I said, I wouldn't change it for anything in the world, because those life lessons, obstacles, adverse situations that I faced, helped make me become a lot more responsible and a much better man than I was prior to these things happening. So at the end of the day, I'm grateful for it. I thought, in some ways it was a blessing for me, because I became hungrier. I became, I wanted success more than my next breath. So I was really willing to just, put everything I had into it, because, I felt that once I got the opportunity again, that I wouldn't turn back. I wouldn't look back at all.
Right. So I read in some articles about some of the jobs that you worked after Union County Community College. Can you just say what some of those jobs were that you worked?
Yeah, I did some postal service work. And I also did some electrical work. And when I was doing electrical work, I'm not an electrician, but a close friend of mine, his dad owns a business. He taught a bunch of us how to do it, and it became very interesting to me. I started to learn how to do these things, and the pay was pretty good back then. I mean, I was young, I was 19 years old. I was a father. I was getting paid pretty good money at that time. I thought, for what I was doing. I was getting like $20 a light, something like that, for each light that I did. Once I learned how to do it, I would knock out sometimes 20 to 25 lights in a day. And, so as much as I wanted to go back to school, it was just hard to walk away from that steady pay, and being able to, father my child, and in the process save up money. So that was the one that I did the longest. I also did some postal service work for about, I want to say it was maybe a year, a little over a year and a half, something like that. So those were two of the main things that I did. But in the process, I always stayed in the gym. When I got off work, I would just go in the gym. I would play. I would work out for 2 hours. I would stay on top of my game and continue to perfect my craft, because, I just knew, I felt the spirits, I felt my heart, that the opportunity would come again for me to go to school. And once I got that opportunity, I always tried to stay ready, so that when the opportunity had come, I wouldn't have the opportunity to present myself. I wouldn't have to get ready. So I was always on top of that aspect of things. And, it was a blessing that it all worked out.
Right. So that's good that you kept working out and you always had faith in yourself that you would make it. So after working all those jobs, explain how William Patterson found you and basically recruited you to play basketball there. How did that all work out?
Well, I was always playing in some of the top pro-am summer leagues in Jersey, the Jersey Shore, Rancho Parks, East Orange campus, and I was all over. I played in Hunter College in New York, and, so I played in a lot of the top leagues. But how Wayne Patterson came about, a friend of mine who's like a brother to me, I wouldn't even call him a friend because I think that's kind of an understatement because of the history that him and I have. But he's like a brother to me, Mofidi Thomas, and he was already enrolled in Wayne Patterson. And him and I played in the same summer league at Branchville Park. So the coach, Jose Mendez, like been a real mentor to me, and he's the person responsible for all of this happening. It changed my life because I remember him coming to just watch Mofidi play, just kind of see, what he probably felt, Mofidi needed to work on, or what, I don't know, just continue to support him. And when he got there, Mofidi just happened to be on my team, and this is why I believe this is God's will, this is all God's plan, because Jose comes from watching me play, and the first, 10 minutes of the game, I'm just playing out of my mind. I mean, and I just see this guy just following me, watching me for like the whole 10 minutes. And it almost made me feel uncomfortable because I didn't know who he was. Everywhere I went to the grocery, he watching me. I at the foul line, he was watching me, specifically watching me. And I was uncomfortable because I didn't know who he was. But make a long story short, after the game, I see him start walking towards me. And I'm very uncomfortable because I didn't know, it was uncomfortable for me because I didn't know who he was. And when he came to me, he told me who he was, introduced himself, said, "How you doing? I'm Jose Mendez, I'm the co-head coach of Wayne Patterson University." He said, "Hey, man, you're a hell of a player." And I said, "Thanks a lot." I said, "I was wondering why. I didn't know who you were." He said, "And I couldn't take my eye off you because you're a phenomenal player." He said, "Are you in school?" And I said, "You know what? I'm not in school, but I'm actually in the process of going back to school." And I was 2 weeks away from going to Cecil Community College in Maryland. And I told him my situation, and I told him what, I was possibly going to do in terms of going to Cecil Community College. But I didn't want to go that far because of my son. So he gave me his card and said, "Listen, if you're very serious about getting to school, when you get home, give me a call, and, I'll see what I can do to help you out." And a lot of people have told me that, but it's just like, so many people were, just, I'm not going to say counterfeit, but it's just that fact that they're acting, where when he gave me his card, it was just something, I don't know, it felt right. So I say about an hour after the game, we talking, it's a great game, and you can really go through it with it if you're serious about this thing they call. So the whole way home, I just contacted him. Should I call him? So about an hour went by, I give him a call, and he's at home. So his wife, Lisa, she answered the phone. She said, "I just called." I said, "It's a call." It's like, "I'm calling Jose. When you get in, can you tell me that I called?" He reached out to him. He told me to give him a call. So I see about 15 minutes later, I'm leaving out of my house, and my mom called me back upstairs. Said, when you have a phone call with somebody named Jose Mendez. So we get on the phone, and we talk for maybe about 2 hours. And, he speaks to me about the point game and how, he hasn't seen the player of that caliber, and he really feels that I can play at the next level. And when he said that, it just resonated with me in a different light because he was just serious. And he said, "Listen, I can come and pick you up tomorrow, take you up to the school, try to get you registered for admissions." And I said, "Okay." So the next morning, 6:30 in the morning, he's outside of my house. I live in the urban area. Our project is outside waiting. He picks me up. We go to Wayne Patterson. He takes me to admissions. Try to get me an admission, but I had to go back to Young County for a semester to qualify for eligibility. And I remember him taking me to the athletic department. And he said, he tells the athletic director, the assistant athletic director, and everybody in the department, this guy right here is going to change our university. And I had to understand what he was saying, but he had faith in me. He really believed in my abilities, and, I felt like he put a lot of trust in me, and I didn't want to let him down, but I didn't understand the significance of what he was saying and the expectations that people had for me because of what he said. So he basically wrote a check in, my actions in terms of what I was able to bring to the university in the basketball court was supposed to cash it. And that worked out. I went to the county for a semester, did everything I needed to do to become eligible, and I'll never forget when I rode the William Patterson, we were 3 and 7. And we just went on the clear. I mean, individually, I got my player of the year, I was an All-American, we went to the Final Four, and it was like a Cinderella story. But, I know that God, He likes people for a reason. And, my time and my testimony is what it's supposed to be. The things that happened in my life, I don't look back on it and have regrets on any of it because I think it was all life lessons. And those life lessons eventually turned into a blessing. So that's how that story happened. And once I got to William Patterson, that was probably some of the best years of my life because I got a chance to experience things that I've always dreamed of. All I ever wanted was the opportunity. And Jose Facundo, who I respect dearly, in the University of William Patterson, gave me the opportunity, and I was fortunate enough to just take full advantage of it. And, it helped prevail me to become a professional. And Jose told me that. He said, look, if you do what you have to do and stick with it, this is something that you can make a living doing. And, that meant a lot to me, and he believed in me, and that's the source that in me to get me to really buy into him on the professional level. And I was fortunate to fulfill a lifelong dream.
Right. I don't know. The audio is not coming out that clear. I don't know if your phone is on speaker. Could you maybe take it off or?
No, I'm not. I'm actually talking. I'm not actually not talking on speaker. I'm talking.
Oh, okay.
On the phone.
All right. No, it's fine. Yeah. So at William Patterson, I know you actually won the ESPN Slam Dunk Contest, and you competed against Division I players. What was that like?
Hey, repeat that again. I'm sorry.
At William Patterson, you played in the Division III. Well, you played in the ESPN Slam Dunk Contest as a Division III player, right, and you beat out Division I players. Right. What was that whole atmosphere like?
That was that's a really good question, and a lot of people have asked me that question. I've always envisioned being in environments like that, and I felt like I just always felt like when I was in environments like in environments like that, I was always at my best. I mean, I was in a lot of slam dunk contests. I was victorious in a lot of them. For my size, I was pretty athletic. But I when I got invited, it was humbling to say the least, but it was exciting as well, for me. And I was just saying, like, man, wow, if I get here, all I need to do is get here. And I said to my friends, and I won the dunk contest. And it just changed it was a life-changing experience for me because I became very, very popular. I was pretty popular in terms of just my play, but to put it on a national milestone in terms of so many people that don't know me getting a chance to see, so many people pulling for a Cinderella story, underdog player against some of the premier elite Division I players. I mean, it was a Cinderella story in itself. But I embraced it all. And it didn't surprise me that I won because that was my objective. I went down there with the intent to win. And I was fortunate enough to win the slam dunk contest. And that's a lifelong experience for me that'll last, for the rest of my life. And it's something that, I speak to my kids about, my kids' friends. They get excited when they can go on YouTube and look at something like that. And it's very humbling, man. So I'm grateful for it, that to have had that opportunity and to be able to fulfill what I set myself out to do. It's mind-boggling. No words I can put into the express the exact overwhelming feeling that I had when it happened.
Right. So you still have the trophy, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. Yeah. All right. So now you're 29 years old. Talk about when you went undrafted, sitting there watching the draft, expecting to be drafted, and then unfortunately not getting drafted. What were your thoughts when that happened?
Yeah. I was actually, when I left St. Patterson, I was 25. But when I did get drafted, it was tough because, like, I felt like I did everything that was asked of me to do. I mean, I really prepared. I went out to Los Angeles, to San Mateo, California, to train. My agent put me out there, got me the facility, put me in the hotel, and I really I prepared myself. And in some drafts, you had experts like Chuck Daly, who's the former Detroit Pistons coach, had me projected to go as high as 12. And I was actually the number 2 point guard behind Jamal Tinsley. So, in my individual workouts that I had with teams, I did well. At 2 of the pre-drafts, I did extremely well. So it was tough. It was tough when you expect to get drafted, or you hear that people hear it, you hear that, if you said at this number, we're taking the first round, you said this number. So to not get your name called at all, it was tough for me. That was tough. But, as tough as it was for me, it just put me right back to the drawing board, because adversity is something that I've dealt with all my life. And I've always handled adversity well. So I just looked at it as another opportunity for me to overcome something. Whenever my back was against the ball, or there were challenges that no one probably believed that I can do it, or people overlook, and, I always took that as a challenge. And, I just got back in the game. Everywhere I played, I just tried to dominate whoever put in front of me. And after I did get drafted, I remember going overseas to Italy. And I was just so determined to prove that not only do I belong, but I said that I belong in the NBA, but that I can play at any level. And I remember going over to Italy my very first year. I got MVP. I had 31 points a game. Couldn't make the playoffs. One of my big guys got hurt, so we didn't make the run that I would have liked to make the playoffs. But I said that I made a strong enough statement, to prove that, I'm mentally tough, that I was not going to allow that to tear me down, or, discourage me from the task at hand. And after playing overseas for many years, I wound up being MVP at 29 and getting the opportunity playing summer league in Detroit. It was a decent for me, because all the hard work that you put into the game, practicing, a lot of the things that people don't get a chance to see, it's completely fulfilling when you get a chance to fulfill that experience of being, you set goals, and you have dreams and aspirations to fulfill a lifelong dream. And when it happens, it's just like, it's extremely humbling, because you put so much into trying to become that. And I remember putting the jersey on my back and just saying my last name. And it fit for so much, because I remember working so hard, and I remember saying as a kid, I'm going to make it to the NBA, but not really happening. Really understanding what it would actually take to get there. So when that happened, it was like, wow. It was a wow moment. I felt that, it was into that was my testimony. And, it wasn't the most traditional way, but at the end of the day, I think that I fulfilled a lifelong dream, and it was one of the greatest successes I've had.
Right. Yeah, the audio keeps cutting in and out. Could you fix it like you did last time? It was a little more clear last time.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, now it's fine, thanks.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so after, how many years did you play overseas before the Pistons pick you up? How many years?
3.
Oh, so
3
3,
years overseas.
right.
3
So
years.
th-
Yeah.
3
I played in
years,
Italy for 2 years, and I
and then
played in Greece for a year.
Greece, right. So after that,
Yeah, and how Detroit, how the Detroit situation happened. There was a big guy that I played with in Greece named Andreas, and Detroit had drafted him the year before in the second round, but they kept him overseas to continue to get him experience, continue to get him better. So every week that they would come and get weekly
scout.
evaluations on him,
So they would scout him.
like they would wind up saying, "Me, yeah, I was killing really, really well. Like I was just killing." And I had no idea that Detroit was actually watching. You know, I didn't know that until I spoke to Joe Dumars once I got signed about it. He told me we watch his film, and every time we put film on, you just stood out. So we started to come and watch in person, and we were even more impressed. And we think we invite you to summer league. You know, we had that picture of the time of you, and then we became the summer league and played well. We was all on the same page, and that's how that happened or whatever. So, you know, that's what's always important to stay ready. You know, always, you know, give everything you have on the court because there's always somebody watching, even when you're least expected. And that's how the Detroit situation happened. So, you know, it turned out to be a perfect opportunity for me. Dumars gave me the opportunity, and you know, I just took full advantage of it. It definitely was a blessing that you know I had the opportunity to fulfill my lifelong dream.
Right, because I know some of these top high school guys, when they're watching one of the top ranked players and their teammate who doesn't get that many offers, when a scout watches them, their other teammate, it helps them, and that's how some of these players get offers and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah.
Now, let's
That's the truth.
go about talk about your experience actually playing with the Detroit Pistons. What was the atmosphere like? I know they just won the NBA championship before you got there. So what was it like playing with Chauncey Billups, Ben Wallace, Rasheed Wallace, Richard Rip Hamilton, Tyshawn Prince, just to name a few? What was it like being in that winning atmosphere?
You know what? It was. They embraced me with open arms, and to this day, I'm in contact with most of those guys. You know, it was like a brotherhood. You know, I didn't get a chance to experience the championship before, but the championship pedigree carried over into the following year when I got there. Even us making it to the finals, that experience was extremely great. You know, and every day in practice, we competed at the highest level to make each other better. So being around an atmosphere like that, it truly was like it didn't surprise me on how they won, how they had success because everybody was blue collar, went to work came to practice every day with the intent to get better. And we pushed each other to the limit, you know, and there was no days off, no easy days. We was on the road, we traveled together, we ate, you know, we did a lot of different things together. And that was one of the more closest teams that I've been a part of. There was no animosity, it was a brotherhood there. And like I'm forever grateful to have a chance to experience some of the things that I had a chance to experience with those guys, you know, from the basketball perspective. So, you know, that was great. It was great every day. And all of those guys are real down to earth people, and you know, and like I said, I'm in contact with most of those guys to this day, and it's like a brotherhood. That fraternity, that NBA fraternity, man, is, you know, to be a part of that is special. It's special. Not too many people. It's 3% of people that get a chance to make it to that level, man, and to be a part of that, you know, it's absolutely amazing, man. And you know, like I said, I'm just extremely blessed to have experienced. To have had a chance to experience that, and it's definitely something that I'll always cherish and hold close to my heart for the rest of my life.
Right. Now, I know you were left off the playoff roster, but Can you explain what goes on with that? Did you still travel with the team? Were you like?
No, I did everything. Only thing I didn't do was play. I practiced. I spoke to reporters. I did everything. I did everything the team, got all the perks that they got or whatever. And, it was a tough situation because, as much as I would have liked, I loved to play in those playoffs, I still got a chance to experience everything. So I felt just as much a part of everything. They embraced it. Like I said, every day it was an opportunity to get better. So, I'm a competitor. I want to play. Of course, I would have wanted to play, but I was just supportive. Because I was there. I had an opportunity. Every last thing about the playoffs is absolutely amazing, and I got a chance to experience that. That was great.
Right, I know. So you were there with the NBA Finals. I know, unfortunately, you guys lost to the San Antonio Spurs in 7 games. What was that like, the heartbreak of losing from previously winning it the other year and going back to lose? What was the locker room like?
That was very, very tough. Very, very tough because we had a chance to win. Well, we had a chance to go up 3-2 at our place, and they snuck out. Unfortunately, they snuck out a win. And so to get that close in a Game 7, and I remember watching the finals and seeing all the confetti fall down, on teams after they lose, and that's a very empty feeling, to get that close, and then you look back and see the celebration, champagne, the confetti, and all that. It's just that was tough. But we were so close, and it was just, unfortunately, like San Antonio, they deserved it. They deserved it. It's a class act organization, and if you want to lose to somebody, you have to tip your hat to them. But I felt that we were extremely close. We really, really could and should have won that NBA championship. But the experience was great. I value it a lot, and I wouldn't change nothing about it besides us winning.
Yeah. So now I have to ask you, November 19th, 2004, the Malice at the Palace. You were in the building, right?
Yeah.
What was that atmosphere like? With all that, basically one of the biggest, if not the biggest, brawl in NBA history. What was that like?
You know what? And so many people ask me about that, and my honest answer about that, it was like a movie, because the way things happen, it was just happening so fast, and it's just I've never seen or experienced or been a part of something like that. It was just mind-boggling because it escalated so fast. So before you can even think or breathe or blink, bang, 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 so many things happening. So it's just when it's happening, you looking around is the director going to say cut? It was like a movie. It was just like a movie. I couldn't believe what was going on. I couldn't believe, how fast things escalated. And it was just, wow. I can't even begin to put in words how overwhelmingly, it was just, there's no definition for that, to actually try to put that into words. You need a whole documentary where you can really zero in on this and that. But it was wow. It was just one of those wow moments. You couldn't believe it. You would have been in awe about everything that was happening because it was happening so fast. One thing over here, then on the court, then over there. So we just wow.
Right. I've been waiting for them to make the ESPN 60 for 60 on that, but they have yet to do that. But what was it like?
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't remember. Was it at the end of the game? Was it 45 seconds left in the game when it happened?
Yeah, it was towards the end of the game. And because what happened, I think they were up. It was like maybe 40 seconds or 30 seconds. They were up like 13 points. And Ben Malice went to the basket, and Ron Artest fouled them. And it's just like, we didn't understand why, like, if you're up 13 and you foul someone when you're up 13, like, if they get the basket, I just don't understand that. So, that's how it escalated. You fouled Ben pretty hard, and, Ben reacted. And Ben's a great guy, and not, by no stretch of imagination is he, a guy with any intent to hurt, to purposely hurt someone. So when that happened, it's just like, just a natural reaction.
Right. So what was it like in the locker room when the game ended? What happened there?
They wanted down to leave the Palace for we were in there for 4 hours because they had to do a big investigation. I mean, they had to do, they asked us all questions. So we weren't allowed to leave the Palace until all the investigations took place and they got everything that they needed to get. So it was tough, man. It was tough. It was just like, you still couldn't believe it, because it's like, you after something like that, you're ready to go home with the family and so forth. And we stayed there for another 3 hours while the investigation was underway, and we weren't allowed to leave. So it was crazy.
Yeah. So your team was one of the best defensive teams, in my opinion, and a lot of people's opinion, of all time. No true superstar on that team, but very balanced. I wanted to ask you about Ben Wallace. Just 2 days ago, I think it was, they announced the NBA Hall of Fame nominees, and he was not selected as one of the players to be enshrined into the Hall of Fame. What are your thoughts on that? Do you think he deserves it? I think he deserves it. One of the best defensive players of all time.
I definitely think he deserves it. I mean, I got a chance to see firsthand just how dedicated of a player he is, just how impactful of a player he is. I mean, I've never seen someone with such quick feet that gets off the ground so fast in my life. Honestly, I've seen him hold his own against some of the greatest offensive post players of that time. He was just so fundamentally sound defensively. He understood how to play defense without fouling. He was a great rim protector, a great help side defender, and he was extremely great one-on-one defender.
Right. So, what was it like playing?
I didn't have to cover.
What was it like playing?
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah. I was going to say, what was it like playing with Mr. Big Shot Chauncey Billups?
That guy, I have the utmost respect for Chauncey, man. I mean, he's so cool, calm, and collected. And in those moments, when the game is, the most important or big shot needed, it never wavers. He's always come through in the clutch. And there's no emotion. There's no pressure to him. He embraced those moments. And him and I had countless conversations because I would talk like Chauncey, man. It's amazing to see you continuously come through in clutch situations time after time after time. And he would just tell me, hey, man, these are moments that I live for. I love this. And I actually learned a lot from him. Though I was a rookie, him and I are the same age, but his experience, you know what I mean? Before he got situated in Detroit, he traveled to different, destinations or whatever. And once he got comfortable in Detroit, he became an immediate elite player. And he's a superstar in my eyes because what a lot of people don't see, I got a chance to see on an everyday basis in practice, and how he's such a true professional. You know, he came to work every day, you know, with a leader, facilitator, you know, and we kind of follow his lead. You know what I mean? Like, he's a great leader. He's a great leader, and he always led by example. He would come in and work hard, and that would just inspire me to come in and work hard. So, you know, seeing his growth as my growth as a player with some of the things in terms of the intellect and IQ of the game is a tribute to just, you know, me having countless conversations with him. You know, because he's just one of those guys who, he's a basketball savant. You know, he understands moments. He understands when those moments occur, and how to really elevate his team to the highest level.
Yeah, I like that word you used. Chauncey Billups is a basketball savant. Very great at dissecting the game.
Savant.
Yeah, very great at dissecting the defense. But now back to your basketball career. After the 1 year with the Pistons, you go back playing overseas, and what's that like?
It was, you know, at first, because I played in Europe, I knew what it was like. I did want to stay in the NBA, but the opportunity in Europe came that was kind of just harder. You know what I mean? Like, I got a little offer, and it was hard to pass up. And as much as I wanted to stay in the NBA, you know, I also had an opportunity that I knew I was just going to play. And that was probably one of the toughest decisions for me to make. But when I got back over there, Jerusalem and Israel embraced me with open arms, and they made my welcoming back to Europe like special. You know, and in return, I just tried to give them everything that I had as a player. We had a lot of success that year, and I just continued to tread upward from that. You know what I mean? Like, you know, so many people just started to have high regard and respect for them to see my story and how I made it to the NBA, and, you know, what I had to overcome. And, you know, it was just, you know, I became a blessing to so many people, and I always felt that. So I just try to always understand that there were people watching me, people that support me, and I always want to go out and give my best for them. So once I got back overseas, it was just like, you know, I want to make the very best out of the situation. It was a great opportunity.
Right, so I was going to ask, if I'm not mistaken, the NBA D-League was like 4 years old by around that time, like 2005. Did a team ever offer you a contract to be in the NBA D-League or anything like that?
Yeah, I actually had you know, I had an offer from the D League, it wasn't the G League at that time, but it just wasn't something that was of interest with me, or whatever the case is. Not that I thought I was too good for the D League or whatever the case is, but it was just, I felt like it was better. There were other opportunities that were better out there for me. And, you know, going over to Navarre, Italy, my first year was phenomenal. You know what I mean? Like, I got a chance to really put my talents on display, and, you know, there was some great things that happened over there for me. So I thought it would just be the best opportunity. And at the end of the day, you know, I was a father, I had a son. You know, the opportunity in terms of finances was a lot better. Going over there, I did get an opportunity where I got offered from the D League.
Right. So basically, you went to the NBA at 30 years old. Kids today know about Andre Ingram, who debuted as a rookie at 32 years old for the Los Angeles
Yeah.
Lakers. You were one of the first 30-plus guys to do that. What was it like when you decided to choose to hang up your jersey?
When I look back at it, I don't have any regrets. I mean, I retired at 35 or 36, and I still had a lot of basketball left. When I say I had a lot of basketball left, I'm still playing in the league. I'm still playing at a high level. I can still dunk. I can still just get around defenders. I can still do all the things that, I was capable of doing. Probably not to the level in terms of, but as you get older, you also get smarter. You understand how to not exert as much energy. So what made me decide to kind of say, you know what, I think it's time. I was missing a lot out on my son's high school. He was a freshman, and I would always just talk to him and say, hey, how's the game go? Oh, Dad, I had 20 points today. Dad, I had 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And that was really eating at me because as happy as I was for him with the success that he was having, it was tough for me because I wasn't there in the physical form. So, I remember after my last year, I just said, you know what? I think it's time for me to just really, because it's tough trying to take the kids over there to overseas, get them adjusted. Like, and I thought it would be selfish and not that. I wound up at 36, and that was the reason why, because of my son. My son was the reason why.
Right.
For my kids, I was the one that started spending more time and being there on a consistent basis and not just in and out. Because when I was overseas, I was basically living in Europe. I was there for 10 months out the year. So I was only home for maybe June, July, then August, into August, and right back over there. So, that was pretty tough. That was pretty tough.
Right. Now, I saw last year, you were actually in the Big 3 draft pool. What went on with that, and is there a chance that you will play in the Big 3 this year?
It is, and it was a great experience. I mean, last year when I went there, the draft, didn't get, and it was mostly they drafted just a lot of guys that was a part of it last year, the previous year or whatever. But the experience was good. I thought I did extremely well at the combine. But there's a chance. I mean, I still have the itch. I do miss the competitive aspect of it, and I'm a trainer now. I've trained kids for the past 9 years, and a lot of the kids that I train, they still want to know if I got it, and they call me out every now and then. So I always just try to stay sharp and work on my game, and continue to just stay ready. You know what I mean? I don't really get after it as much in terms of when I was playing. I was working out every day, but I'm still pretty sharp.
Right. Well, that's pretty much all I have for you. I greatly appreciate you for taking the time out of your busy schedule to speak with me about your basketball career.
No problem at all. I'm extremely humble, and I thank you for having me, man. Like, to be able to speak on a platform such as something like, your podcast or whatever, man. If it's anything that I can do to bring awareness to you, to get people to, support you, I'm all for it. And I just, this is my testimony, man. If I can just reach one person who's probably having similar experiences as I've had, on my path to become a professional, hopefully it can inspire them. And, I'm just blessed. God has blessed me with a gift and the opportunity to fulfill a dream. So I'm just extremely blessed, man. So to have an opportunity to share my testimony with with people. You know, I enjoy it. I really enjoy the aspect of sharing that, because I know that there's a lot of people out there that probably will have never understood how. You know, but through the grace of God, and we continue to believe, we continue to work hard, we continue to just sacrifice and stay committed, you know, be determined, be dedicated to it, and be disciplined through everything that I've experienced. Is just, you know, that's what helped prevail me to be able to overcome these things and make it to the top of that basketball mountain. And that's something that nothing or nobody can ever take away from